So it's time to go Ralts hunting, and before that, oh yeah, remember now my mom to try and make amends for that horrible treatment when she dumped me in the truck and all. She's going to hand me the running shoes, which are simply one of the coolest inventions in the history of the series, because at least it allows me to go a bit faster before I get the bike. Now, I don't understand how I couldn't run before with those old shoes, but I can with those new ones. I hope it's a matter of comfort, else it really makes no sense. So I'm just going to assume that it's a matter of comfort and nothing else. As for that Ralts that I want one with trace, since I think it's going to be more useful overall than synchronized, and fortunately I'm not gonna need to catch every damn Ralts I see until I find one with trace, because whenever someone with trace pops up, you get a message saying that the Ralts trace is tracing Torchic's Blaze, for example. So I'm not even gonna need to catch every Ralts I see. I can just wait until I see one with trace and then catch it with balls. And speaking of balls, I'm going to buy some right now, and it's important to buy them in shots of 10, because you get a premier ball when you buy 10 or more Pokeballs. And really, what's more compelling? 11 for the price of 10 or 51 for the price of 50? The question answers itself, so always buy them in bunches of 10. Now, the problem with Ralts is that it's only got a 4% chance of popping up, and only half of them have trace, so it's a 2% chance of popping up. So for that reason, I'm going to spare you the hunting part. If you like to see completely ridiculous stuff happen in LPs, you are going to see one right now. So far, I've found 2 Ralts, but both had synchronized. And take a close look at my Torchic's level. It's going to evolve right now. I'm going to have a Combuskin, and I still haven't found that Ralts. So obviously, I'm going to take away focus energy for Peck, and after evolving, I'm going to learn Double Kick. I'm going to replace Growl with it, but oh, I still can't believe it. This is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. I hunted for a Ralts so long, and it's still not over, and I have a Combuskin. I haven't fought the first regular trainer in the game yet, and my starter already evolved. This is so ridiculous. Oh my god, this is, I'm about to break down there. This is just, oh my god. This is so stupid and at the same time so awesome. Finally a tracing Ralts. I thought I was never gonna see one. And of course I'm going to start throwing balls right away, because anything I have will kill it. And yes, you're seeing that right. My Combuskin has gained 4 more levels since evolving. It took that long to find a tracing Ralts. So let's try with the premier ball, since the first one didn't go so well. And oh! Well, it only took 2 balls, even at full health, not asleep. So we're gonna see what they have to say about the feeling Pokemon. Well, it takes cover if it senses any hostility. Well, that's probably because of the god-awful stats. And what's its nature, for fun? We're gonna see right now. Oh, it's a rash nature. Well, I can live with it, but had it been a nature that raises attack, I would have been so insulted. So now, obviously, I'm gonna put that Ralts in the lead, and I'm going to heal myself since my Combuskin was already pretty low on PP. So yeah, as I said, Ralts stats suck. They absolutely suck. Kirlia isn't much better. Kirlia's stats are still lower than those of Abra, but I picked it because Gardevoir, in my opinion, for in-game purposes, is better than Alakazam. So it's okay, and I completely forgot talking to that guy when I came back here, so I'm doing it now, and yes, it was just the guy's own footprints. So yeah, this is now the first actual trainer that we're gonna face in this game. But yeah, what I was saying about Gardevoir versus Alakazam earlier, this is consequent with my policy of making the early game a little bit harder so that the late game becomes easier. So, obviously no. I just want to switch now because I can't do anything to that Poochyena, obviously. So, yeah, I'm gonna send out Combusken and completely demolish it with double kick. Come on, it's a level 20 Combusken. I still can't believe it. Well, at least something good will have come out of this unending wait for tracing routes, and it's that my starter is blatantly overpowered and capable of handling anything for quite a while into the game. And by the way, if you are feeling like I'm going faster through the text, well, it's for a very simple reason. It's because, you know that window at the bottom of the screen where text appears? Well, it's actually a lot bigger than in the first two generations. Wait, why did I do Growl? Did I expect to do Confusion or something? I knew Ralts couldn't attack until like level 5 or 6, and yet I just mashed the button and used Growl like an imbecile. Doesn't matter because here comes the bulldozer! But yeah, that window contains a lot more text, but I'm not going to wait that much longer between, windows for, new text to appear and everything, because else it would just take forever. And speaking of the text in this game, well, the font that they had used in Ruby and Sapphire was a lot different from this one. The characters were really, really tall and really, really narrow, which made the characters sort of hard to read. Well, they were not so difficult to read, but still, it wasn't very pleasing to the eye. So they came up with an entirely new font for Fire Red and Leaf Green, and another one for Emerald, which is a bit closer to that of Fire Red and Leaf Green, but not quite identical. You get the idea. It's just, well, it was just because in Ruby and Sapphire the text was a bit too hard to read because the font sucked balls. And yes, I know I've already covered it before, but it's still worth repeating. If you lock eyes with a trainer, you have to challenge. It's a rule. But that trainer doesn't necessarily have to lock eyes with you, it seems. You can just pass in front of a trainer, he sees you, you don't see him, but you have to fight anyway. I know it's just a simplification of the game mechanic put to the absolute extreme, but nonetheless it's still an interesting, well, it's hardly a plot hole because it doesn't pertain to the plot, it pertains to game mechanics, but still. And yeah, I can't wait until Ralts gains Confusion. Is it gonna gain it now? No, I think it comes at level 6, so I can only switch it out in front of a Poochyena, not in front of stuff it should be like a Zigzagoon or a Wurmple or stuff like that. So I'm going to pick up the berries. They completely changed the system for berries in this game. I'm going to talk about it more in depth at a later date, though, because I'm just going to... No, there's nothing there. I'm going to check this out, and that's going to be it for today.